Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for your patience. And also, thank you for tuning in to this live here this evening. Yes, we were supposed to start at 7 o'clock, with some technical difficulties, we were unable to do so. But we are here to start this live and to ensure that we complete this interview as was mentioned before. Once again, my name is Dunstan Wilson, and this is News Guyana 24. So, from time to time, we will be interviewing individuals and young professionals from Guyana, persons who are involved and doing different things, something that you can benefit from. And today, we do have a very special person, a very special individual that will be speaking with us here today. And she is no other than Asha Pieters. As you can see in respect to the poster, this is the individual that we will be talking about. So I want to thank you for tuning in and also for giving me this opportunity to speak with you and to introduce Asha Pieters to you. However, before we get started, I would like to give you a little bit of information as to who is Asha Pieters if you've probably never um, hear about her before, or you probably know her some time back or so. But here is an opportunity for you to get to know Miss Pieters a little bit more, and also what Miss Pieters has been up to over these years. So I will take the time to go over a little bit of information. I know you're not able to see me, but I'm right here, and I want to give you a little bit of information about Asha Pieters. Asha Pieters was born and raised in Georgetown, Guyana, and also is a proud alumna of St. Marcus Private School, and also St. John's College and St. Joseph High School. A former beauty queen, she earned titles such as Miss Guyana Talented Teen 2001, Miss West Indies, and that was also done in St. Lucia 2002, and Miss Carnival St. Vincent 2004. Now based in Canada and working in the banking sector, Asher rediscovered her childhood passion for writing during the COVID-19 pandemic, turned it into a celebrated uh, as a matter of fact, literary journey. Inspired by her daughter Azaria, she published her first book, which is her first children's book, Azaria the Little Princess Who Loves Dresses, which led to several others, including Azaria Learns About COVID and the Germ Police Vaccine. And this one here that I'm excited about, a Guyanese Christmas. Yes, Christmas is coming, so we will be talking more about that, and also Dominique's quest to become a teeth brushing champion. Her works, which also include coloring and activity books, promote early childhood education, self love, and creativity. Now, Asha's mission is to inspire young Guyanese at home and abroad, showing that with determination and vision, dreams are achievable. So, there you have it. And that's just a of Miss Peters, and like I said, we will get into a full interview, in so that you get a chance to meet this lovely young lady that went to a school that I was a teacher at, St. John's College. Obviously, she would have moved on and gone to other institution, and so that she can gain the right set of education. However, with no further ado, instead of you looking at a picture, let me bring Arsha up right away in so that we can start this interview. All right. So just allow me to bring her up, and I'm sure she's anxiously waiting there for me to do so. Here we go. And now we have Asha Pieters.
Hey, good night, good night, good night.
Good night. Good night. How are you doing today?
I am good. I am very good. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much for wanting to talk to me about my books and my work. I really appreciate it.
And you are welcome. And I must say that you are one of all of us. You know, you're part of that St. John's crew. We can claim you.
I'm definitely a John's girl.
Definitely. And I know you're not nervous because going way back, and some people may not know, but you've been involved in I'm sorry, in pageants, like I mentioned before. So before we go into the interview in respect to the books and the things that you've been doing, tell us a little bit about your journey in back in those days, because it's been way back.
Oh, yes. St. John's was just a great institution back then when I went there. And it was a school that was full of discipline. I don't know if you were there when Miss Gloria Gibbs was there,
Oh
but
yes,
she
yes,
was our headmistress, and
yes.
she used to let me have it constantly. But at the time, I was not very happy with that. None of us were. But now I look back and I'm so grateful that we had her. She taught me a lot. And I was someone who just loved reading. I loved to read. I don't know if you remember, we would get the book list before, right before we went off for summer vacation.
Yes,
So
yes,
we would get the book list and I would read the book during the summer vacation. And then I would come to school and I would already know. So when my literature teacher, Miss Kim, she would be, trying to teach the class, I was the class clown. I was having fun.
yes,
I already read the book. And she would say to me, you are the class clown, but if you can just put your mind to it, you can do so much.
yes,
I was one of the strongest readers in the class. So she would always make me stand and read like paragraphs from different books. And I remember those books. I remember the first one I think I did in Form 1 was A Cow Called Boy. And then there was The Chrysalids. And then there was Animal Farm. And I learned a lot from Animal Farm.
yes.
Um, it's a very, very good book, even for adults. So if you've never read Animal Farm, it's definitely a very, very good book to read. And To Kill a Mockingbird. So To Kill a Mockingbird was my favorite, and then I guess Animal Farm, took a close second. But to this day, To Kill a Mockingbird is my favorite book, and I would just uh, always ace all my tests in literature. Anything to do with reading, history, literature, social studies, those were my subjects. But math, I did not like math. I'm still, not a
Is it because of
mathematician.
Sir Kelman?
I don't know. He was very nice though, but I just
Yes,
unfortunately I was just horrible at math. I tried, but I just was not that good at it. Funny enough, I work in banking now. Isn't that funny?
I know, right?
But so I definitely needed it. But at the time, I was just very much into writing short stories and that kind of thing. So my love for books started since then. And then eventually I started doing pageants. And my pageant career happened while I was just going to Arapaima. I don't know if you remember
Mhm.
Arapaima.
Yes, yes,
And Miss Pamela Dillon, she saw me passing and she called me, she said, here you go, take this form, fill it out, and come back. And I was a tomboy. I had shaved my head. I was not about to do pageants, and my father convinced me
yes,
that I do it. And
yes.
so I did it and I won. And so
And that was the
it was
Miss Guyana Talented Teen,
that was the Miss Guyana Talented Teen
which
pageant,
was
yes.
the second year.
It was the second year. So the first
Okay,
one, you like Satwell won,
that's right.
and the second one I won. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I remember being a teacher there at St. John's College, and we were rooting for you. I remember Miss Kelman too. She's like, ah, she's gonna do great. She's gonna go and she's gonna bring home that crown. So I remember that. So I mean, for
Yeah,
those who are listening, go ahead,
mhm.
Asha.
I was gonna say I remember Miss Kim Cameron and Miss Gibbs saying to me,
Yes.
because of the way I spoke and because I always was reading and I was always writing short stories, they were like, you're not gonna have a problem with the final question. You are not. I know you're not. You're an intelligent girl. If it
Yes.
was maths, I would have told you not to do it. Saying that to me. But it turned out pretty good for me.
Of
So
course, of course. And then from Miss Guyana Talented Teen, then you went on to two other pageants. Tell us about that.
after Miss Santitine, I went to Miss West Indies in St. Lucia, and I won that. And then after that one, I went to Miss Caraval in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I was the first Guyanese to ever win that pageant. Yeah.
Mm,
So
interesting.
and that's their carnival pageant. So they have it every year. They still have it to this day, and it was the biggest thing that I had ever seen in terms of pageants because it was like when you have cricket and you have the
Yes.
cricket stadium. That's where they had the pageant. It was a stadium, like, and the people were on the field, and it was
Yes.
so many people. So I was shocked, to
Mm.
see that many people. I was super nervous, but luckily for me, it worked out. Yeah, and that
Okay.
is a pageant right there. You chose the right picture. It's the exact same pageant.
Wow. But you were so tiny then.
I know. Kids happened, and yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
All
I
right.
was like
So you
95
took this
pounds,
picture.
soaking wet.
Wow. So you took this picture when?
This was
What
at
was the?
Miss Caraval in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I had just arrived,
Okay.
and they were giving the contestants gifts, welcoming
Okay.
them to St. Vincent. Yeah.
Okay. 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 So you've
Hmm.
been totally involved, and I'm trying to bring up some of the images that you sent me so that we can go to them a little bit, just to let people know that you're just not somebody that just happened, but you've been totally involved. So tell us about
Hmm.
this one here.
This is a Michelle Cole classic.
Okay.
Yes, Michelle Cole made this dress for me. This was Miss Guyana.
Okay.
So I was also in Miss Guyana Universe. I went up the year when Maya Rohaman won,
Oh
and I was in the
yes,
top
I
five.
remember
Yeah,
that.
I was in the
Yes.
top five. So I had just come out of school. I just won Talented Teen, and this pageant was probably the most difficult because nobody believed in me at the time except for Miss Pamela Dillon and the Simply Royal crew. Like, no one thought that I would measure up or even be anywhere close. So I was really working hard to prove them wrong. I think I was 17,
Okay.
very, not experienced in pageants. And I didn't have a lot of pageant experience because I just, as I said, come out to Talented Teen. So I hadn't done West Indies yet. I hadn't done Carnival Queen yet, right? So I had a very close relationship with Maya, and I
Okay.
was so happy for her when she won. And we had a great relationship. I haven't seen her in a long time, but she was really very, very nice to me in the pageant. And yeah, it was great. It was great, but it was very difficult because I had to be mature and I had to really catch up to everyone else. But I loved it, and I gained a lot from that experience.
All right.
So this one is Miss Carval. Yeah, this is Miss Carval.
Okay.
So this is when I won. This was my swimsuit. This was a crowning moment, and this is an Olympia small Sunaram creation, and Olympia made some really beautiful dresses for me, and this one was no exception. And yeah, I was able to pull it off and win the whole thing, and I was very proud of myself. That smile will tell you everything you need to know. Yeah, she made the swimsuit as well. And I
Yes.
remember sitting on her floor, and her daughter was so young at the time. And she was putting on these appliques on the swimsuit. And yeah, everything turned out really, really well. She
Yeah.
also made a costume with me I was a big, a peacock,
Yes.
but I don't have that picture anymore. I don't know where it is, but that was fabulous as well.
Okay. And here we go.
So this one is Talented Teen.
Okay,
This
good.
is the very, very first Talented Teen. Um, and yeah, this was my winning moment. This was the very
Awesome.
first, not the, sorry, the second Talented Teen, because
Of
you can see
course.
Ulex Atwell in the back there. She was the first queen. Yeah.
Wow. So if
Yeah.
we were to answer the question, where are they now?
Yeah.
So Asha is in Canada, obviously, and now Asha is totally involved in other things. And then now that I guess the women who are watching and those who might be aspiring to probably be a queen may want to reach out to you so that they can get some tips. But you've been there, you've been involved, and I know it's 2025, and a lot of
Mhm.
us who were involved way back in those days in Guyana, a lot of the youths may not even know who we are. But
Yeah.
just to give a little bit an idea as to who you are, that's the reason why I wanted to go back to some of those pictures. But I have a question: are you in any way involved in pageantry in Guyana at all
Oh,
at
not
this moment?
anymore.
Oh,
If Miss Pam calls me and asks me to support in any way, then I will.
yes.
But beyond that, no, no. I'm just an admirer, you know. I'm just an admirer now. I'm following up. Miss Pam has her talented teen pageant coming up, so I'm so proud of her for keeping that going. I learned so much from that pageant. Had it not been for Miss Guyana Talented Teen, I would not be here right now. You
All
know,
right.
and that's the truth. I learned so much from
Okay.
that pageant, and from her. She was my mentor. She was hard on me. She was good to me. She was, you know, trying to help me to succeed in every possible way. And I learned a lot from her, and I'm very, very grateful for that opportunity. But beyond that, in terms of pageants, now I'm just an admirer. I'm just watching and looking on at the Randys and the, who, by the way, has been doing very, very well.
Yes, yes. That young
And
man has been doing well. I probably would need to have
so
him
proud of him.
come on here.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Can I
Yes.
say I'll say a little story about Randy. I remember when I first met him, he was learning to design from Michelle Cole. And he came up to me all sparkly eyes, and he was like, because at the time I'd won all these international pageants. And from that age, I don't know, he was probably 16, 15, 16. He was super young. And at that age, he was so curious. He just wanted to be in my space. And wanted to learn so much from me. And I remember him coming and hugging me the first time we met and saying how much he admired me and stuff like that. And now I'm admiring him and all the work that he is doing. I'm so, so proud of him and all of his accomplishments. So I like to see us Guyanese people win. And we're winning. We're winning.
We're winning. Hopefully, we
Yeah.
can win on the international stage.
Yes,
I think
yes,
that would
yes.
make a big difference.
It's
Yeah.
only a matter of time until we win a Miss Universe or a Miss World crown. It's only time.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that the
Yeah.
next one that they will pick, that you probably might be a judge. What do you think?
Hopefully,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, because I think you've gone through it in the earlys, and
Hmm.
I remember back then too. Guyana just starts basically just starts sending persons back to pageants. Like for example, Miss
Hmm.
Universe. I remember I think it's either 1998 or 1999 when
Hmm.
Morvina Sobers, um,
Hmm.
he was one of them who was sent, who won that pageant, and it was like a whole big thing, and the entire country was involved in that whole selection. I'm not
Hmm.
sure if you can remember because probably you were just a kid as well, but
I have a story about Marvinia too. So Marvinia was close friends with my cousin,
yes,
and she was at my cousin's house,
yes,
and I was in school in St. John's, and I was all into pageants at the time, not actually participating in it, but
yes,
I would sit and watch Miss Universe every year with my family. And
yes,
Wendy Fitzwilliam had just won, I believe.
yes.
So
1998 in Trinidad.
yes.
Yes,
So at this point, I am all into, pageants because Wendy was my hero at the time, my pageant hero. And
okay.
so when Marvinia won, my cousin called me and said, "Oh yeah, she's here. She's here right now." I'm like, "She's where? You met her? Oh my goodness, can I talk to her?" And I spoke to her and she was super nice on the phone. I can't remember. I think we met a couple of times. Um, but that first conversation, just the fact that she took the call and she was so kind to me, and you never really know what impact you're having on someone.
That's right.
You never know. She probably to this day, we've never been close. I don't know her like that. I think I met her a couple of times just because of pageants like High and Right. I don't even think she realized that I was the girl she spoke to on the phone. And I don't think she to this day knows the impact that she had on me just because she took the call. She was kind to me and she, offered me words of wisdom because I told her I was interested in it. So yeah, you never know what kind of inspiration you could possibly be to someone just by being nice to them. And
Yes,
look, at a couple of years later I end up winning Miss Tantitina, Miss West
yes.
Indies, and Miss Carva. Who would have thought, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I hope today that you would be an inspiration to others, not because of what we're about to get into, but you would still be an inspiration for any other young lady who are interested in getting into pageantry and so forth. And, we always need people who would have garnered certain experience to be
Mm-hmm.
part of these activities. And like I said to you earlier on, of the record, I was saying to you that back in the day, all these pageants and so forth, it was something that the entire country was a part of. So we're hoping that we can bring that back, so we can send somebody to bring home that crown, just the way you did back in those days. So I must say thank you so much for your contribution. And if Morvina Sobers is listening, she may not be. I don't know what she's doing now. But it would be nice to bring some of those individuals to talk about their experience and so forth being a part of pageantry. But today we're not here to just talk about pageantry. We're here to talk about some of the things that you've been involved in. Now, before we get into that, I'm not sure if you want to say something. I want to play a little video, and then we can start off the conversation from that video, and then we'll just take it from there. So I'm not sure if
Okay.
you want to say anything before I play that video.
No, just I just want to say thanks to all the people that came into my life and helped me to be the woman that I am today. Miss Pamela Dillon and Michelle Cole, who was, also an inspiration to me, um, and so many others who've helped me along the way. I'm very, very grateful.
Yes, and I also watched your Get Ready with Me. I hope I can get that that video up. You were actually wearing some handbands which
Yeah,
you
from
said that were
Angela
made
Baker.
by
Yeah,
someone very special.
very
So
special.
I
Yeah.
didn't hear you mention that individual. So maybe I'm
Well,
not sure. Are
she
you
ca-
wearing?
she
Are
comes
you wearing?
later. I didn't know
Okay.
her at that time, so she comes
Oh,
later
okay.
with the
Okay.
books. She comes later.
All right. Good.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. So let's get into the video, and then we'll just go into the interview, and we'll take it from there. Okay.
absolutely.
All right. It's a pretty short video I want to play for you guys. And also, if you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you so much for tuning in. And like they always say, share the live, share the live, share the live. All right. Thank you so much for your support. Here we go. Hey guys, so my books have finally arrived. They just came today. These are the author copies that I ordered, and I wanted to unbox it with you guys. So let's see what it looks like. So I'm just gonna start opening up. Yay! I'm so excited because this is the first time I'm actually seeing these ones. Goodness. This is the one that I wrote for my son Dominic. Yes. And it's called Dominic's Epic Quest to Become a Teeth Brushing Warrior and Potty Training Champion. And it's really about teaching your children how to use the potty and how to brush their teeth and the importance of it. And so this book is close to my heart because this is the first one I wrote for my son. This is like the inside. Let me show you guys give you guys a little sneak peek. I really, really wanted to focus on something that was not just words on paper, but something educational, something that children can learn, something that you can read to your son or your daughter at night before they sleep, and they're also learning something, the importance of brushing their teeth and using the potty and how they can do it and how they can develop confidence. And this is really a true story about everyone in my family helping my son learn how to brush his teeth and how to use a potty. So there we go. Yes. So if you want to purchase this book, you can go on Amazon. The link is on my bio. Just click on the link and it will take you to either the Canadian Amazon or the American Amazon, and you can purchase any one of my books or all of my books if you choose to. The link for all of them is right there. So there we go. And that was a really nice video. And for some reason, I was sliding through Facebook, and that video came up on my feed, and I was like,
Hmm.
"Wow, it was so captivating." And also, I watched your previous video as well, and you kind of use a little bit of a sort of like a fast forward, and it kind of
Hmm.
it's something wrong with my phone or my computer and so forth. But I like the way how you did it and so forth. So tell us what was going on there with that book, because I love the look of the book in terms of the color and the creativity so far. I mean, I haven't seen it as yet in my hand, but I love it so far. So tell us what was going on there.
So first, I would say the inspiration behind that video, I did the exact same video in 2020 when I released my book, uh, as Our Little Princess Who Has Dresses. The exact video. So I recreated the video for this book. It was
Okay.
the same thing. Go to the front door. There's a package there, and I pick up the package and I open it and I see my book, and so I wanted to just recreate it for this book as well, and that's what I did. um and I fast forwarded just a little because I want to grab people's attention and keep their attention, and people do not like to watch videos that are long and drawn out, so I always try my best. Yeah, that's it. So I always try my best to make it as short as possible and compact it with information so they have all the information necessary, right? Without having to sit through uh, a 10-minute video. I try to keep my video at most 2 minutes. If I can do it shorter than that, I try to. Um, so yeah, so this was my first book, The Little Princess, as Our Little Princess Who Has Dresses. And this book was just based on real conversation that I had with my daughter. She was obsessed with dresses, so anywhere we went, and even when she was going to daycare, when she was going to school, when we were going to the park, she wanted to wear a dress. So even though it's a storybook, it's still a teaching book. So in the story, I'm telling her, if you want to wear a dress, then you have to, because as soon as she got up in the morning, she wants to go and put on a dress. So I said, before you do that, you have to go brush your teeth, you have to take a bath, you have to go downstairs, have your breakfast, and it's like a discipline. You know what I mean? A discipline thing. And I was teaching her that in the book. And so, in order to wear a dress to go out, you need to do all these things first, right? So, that's pretty much what the book is about. It's funny. I talk about, um, the fact that I make her choose what she wants to wear, so she has her own identity and the different clothes. And then when she chooses something, why did you want to wear that? So all of that kind of information is in the book, and it makes it fun and it's easy to read, so little children can read it. I use words that they can understand at that age. So I put a lot of thought and effort and energy into it. And at that time, there was, I think, Amazon KDP had maybe just started up. And so, right now, KDP is so easy. They've made it so easy. Back then, it
Yes.
wasn't very easy. And there was another one called Ingram Spark, which was also very difficult. So I had to go back and forth. I'm going on YouTube. Going TikTok was also around, but it wasn't as big yet, so you couldn't really find that many videos on authors or writing books. So it was mainly YouTube, and so I'm going back and forth. I'm trying to learn. I'm going to Google. Um, um, I am also doing free creative writing classes, right? So I'm trying to find any kind of class that I can um, use to better myself, to understand. So not only am I doing the creative writing, but I'm trying to figure out how to publish the book, how to get the book printed, how to format the book. Formatting is very difficult if
Yes.
you're trying to do that on your own, right?
Of course.
So
Yes.
all these things I was trying to learn on my own, and there was no chat GPT.
Yes. Of
That
course.
was out of the question,
You had
right?
to go, right?
So yeah, absolutely. So I had to figure it out, but I was determined because I
Yes.
remember when I was a kid in school, me telling my teachers one day I'm going to be a writer. Like I knew it. It was in me, right? And so, but it was just a pipe dream. It was just something you're saying.
Yes.
Funny when you put things out in the world, it comes back full circle. It was
Words
just
have
something
power.
exactly. I had no idea it was even
Yes.
possible at the time that I could do something like that. So, I was determined, and my
Okay.
determination paid off. And so that was the first book. The second one was in the middle of
So,
COVID.
so before we go into the second one,
Mhm.
I wanted to ask because I know a lot of people might be thinking, and I've interviewed another person before who wrote a book and so forth, and how she I know she was able to start writing that book. but I know you focus more on your daughter. So would you say then that it was an easy segue for you to start from that level, or was it anything else that really inspired you? Obviously, your daughter already inspired you to make it happen, but was there anything else that made you want to, become an author and said, you know what, I'm going to write my own book?
It's my love for reading.
Okay.
My love for reading, my love for words on the page, And as I said, like I was doing it since I was a kid. Like I was the best in my class in literature. I
Yes.
can say that. If St. John's people who were in class with me see this, they would say, yeah, that's true. I was the literature girl, right? Anything to do with reading and English and that kind of
Yes.
thing, I was the girl to go to. Um, and so I was writing short stories as a kid. I remember I wrote a shampoo commercial.
Oh,
I
nice.
wrote a shampoo commercial, which
Yeah.
was quite good. And I grew up just loving poetry and that kind of thing. And um, I think, I don't know if you know her, but my aunt Edith Peters, she
Not
was a musician in Guyana,
okay.
a very famous musician back in the day. Those who know. You know Paul Court, who is a very famous singer as well. He is Guyanese, and he's now I think in Trinidad. He was under she taught him as well,
Okay.
and quite accomplished. I think he has a master's or a doctorate in music education now. Like it's so good, and quite a singer as well, an opera singer, absolutely amazing. And she, uh, from a tender age, she would just bring me books. As a baby, she'd bring me books and read to me and tell me, if you can read, you can do anything. You need to learn to read. And she would have me spelling words because my spelling wasn't very good. So she would sit there and teach me different words. And yeah, so I think she was also my inspiration. But my daughter made it easy. The book was not difficult to write, it was difficult to create. Or
Okay.
I don't like to say difficult, but I like to say challenging. It challenged me to create it, but to write it was easy. I just used my daughter's words. I used the things she was saying to me all the time, and my own words, my responses to her. So it was very easy.
No, awesome. And then we have this copy here. If you can tell us
So
about this one.
this was the second one, and I dedicated this one to Marvin Pierce, who was a very, very good friend of mine, and he died from COVID-19.
Yes.
And at the time when he died, there was no vaccine. He died um, early on. And it was difficult because my daughter, all of a sudden, she's in the house all the time. She can't go anywhere. No more piano lessons. No more, going to voice training lessons. No more karate. All these things, we had to cut because COVID was, killing a lot of people at that time.
Yes.
And how do you explain to kids what COVID-19 is? You know, we didn't even know what it was ourselves. So my inspiration came after my friend died because I don't really necessarily think that I was taking it as serious as I should have been in the beginning. I didn't think that I would be affected by it because remember at the time it was in China and then it started to trickle down, right? And then you hear
Yes.
people dying here, there, and everywhere, but it really wasn't in my vicinity, if you know what I mean. It was everywhere, but I mean, no one from me was really affected by it. So I was like, oh, I'm safe. I'm at home. Yeah, I'm wearing a mask when I go out. I'll be fine. It's okay. And then when Marvin died, I realized that this is really serious because he was a very, very good close friend of mine. And so I said, I'm going to teach my daughter. And while I'm teaching her, why not teach other kids about COVID-19 and how important it is to wash your hands all the time and explain to them why and the significance of, this disease and what it can do, you know. It can take the people you love. And so we have to make sure that we take care of ourselves so that we don't give our grandparents or mom or dad or someone in the family who may be suffering from diabetes or high blood pressure or something like that, because they are more susceptible to this kind of disease or illness,
Infection,
right?
yeah. Yes.
Infection, or not disease, my bad,
Yes.
infection, right? So it it just came about because of that.
How many
And
pages in that book?
a lot. Not really. I have it here. How many pages?
You have a
25.
copy of it. You have a copy.
You have a copy of it. It's an author copy, so that's why there's a
Okay.
line right here. But
Should raise a
it's
little bit higher so we can see that you have your own copy.
absolutely, so it's, yeah. So that's
Yes.
the author copy. So that's why that line is over it. But the regular book does not have that. And
Okay.
these are a few pictures of it.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Open it. Oh my gosh.
So
Look
this
at
is
that.
us, because remember it was COVID-19 was all over the
Yes.
news and that kind of thing. And then and of course me wanting to let's see,
Nice.
right? And a couple more pages, let's see. And then there's a vaccine and me explaining to her basically what it is. Yeah, so that's pretty much what the book is about. And the reason why I wrote it was because of my friend that died, Marvin. Because
Nice.
when
And
he
you know
died, I
what?
started to really take it seriously.
Yes, of course. And we all can remember Marvin. May his soul rest in peace. Um,
Mm-hmm.
one of the known Guyanese figures that succumbed to that infection back then, because so many
Yeah,
people got infected, even though some of us did not take COVID-19 seriously.
in
But
the beginning. In the beginning.
yes, even
Yeah,
even right down to the end, because some people also don't think
didn't
that.
believe it.
Yes, I didn't believe it, and all the other things that was going on. But that's for a whole other discussion.
Others. Yeah.
Yes, but when I look at your book and I see the creativity, because sometimes, we see kids' book, and we buy all these different books. You go into Giftland, the popular mall in Guyana. You go into other places, and I can see different books there and so forth. But one thing I would love to see is Guyanese authors book on the
Hmm.
shelf, and I would love to see your book in Giftland. I know we spoke, but I don't remember. I was with a friend and we went looking for some books for his little niece, and for her birthday and stuff like that. This would have been such a great idea. So what was it like? Is it I'm not sure if you were able to reach out to Guyanese businesses. I know we kind of go a little bit deeper, but have you reached out to Guyanese businesses to see if they can have your book on the shelf that was written by a Guyanese author? Because I mean, if I had kids, I would love for them to be reading this particular book that was written by a Guyanese author.
Absolutely. But before I answer that, I just want to go back and say Marvin was one of the people that I did not mention who had a great impact on my life in terms of pageantry. And so, as you said, may his soul rest in peace. And yeah, he used to say to me, Asha, you would look good in a bag. He always would, yeah. He always used to breathe life into me, like he was one of those people who always try to build you up and
Yes,
make you feel
yes,
confident in
yes.
yourself. So I just want to, I want to remember that and say it out loud about him. Um, in terms of your question, yes, I did, and Karen Bacchus Hines, who I think is the owner of New Era Bookstore, reached out to me when I published Azara Little Princess Who Loves Dresses, and she supported me from day one. She took my books, she put them in her store on Robb Street, and also the one because she has a duty free shop as well in the airport, and she was selling my books absolutely. And she also sold a Guyanese Christmas, which was like the top seller, I think, for
Yeah,
Christmas for her. Yeah,
I
for
love
her.
this one.
Yeah. So shout outs to her. She definitely. supported me through this journey, and she was one of the people that sold my books in her store. Also, I reached out to Austin's bookstore, which is a store that I used to go to when I was a child. Um, and I reached out to them multiple times, but I haven't heard back anything yet. But I know they're probably busy, so I'm gonna keep reaching out
Of
because
course.
yes, because my mom always said to me, at the end of the day, if you really want something, you'll try really hard. And so I'm going to continue reaching out to them. Um, and and yeah, so far those are the only two that I really
That,
try to
that you
reach
saw some
out to get.
success.
Yes.
Okay.
I do also have a friend who owns a store, and she also wants to carry my book, so I'm going to send a few to her, so hopefully she'll get it in time for Christmas, and I'll be able to um, get it out to Guyanese in that way. Yeah.
All right. So Christmas is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who are listening, please, I know we haven't I know Asha mentioned it earlier on that you can find all of these books on Amazon. If you're in Canada, you can also get a copy in Canada. If you're in the United States, you can get a copy in the United States. And for Guyana for sure, I know many people already have their in terms of when they order stuff on Amazon, probably goes to some kind of business in Guyana, or it goes to somewhere in the States and then someone pick it up and so forth. So yes, I know a lot of people based on what the VP says, people have credit cards. So you can definitely go there and support Asha in this way. If we're looking at this book, A Guyanese Christmas Story, because I'm going to ask Asha to tell us about this book. I want this book in my room for Christmas. So I'm going to have it. And probably we might be able to donate some copies as well to some Guyanese children and so
Absolutely.
forth. But tell us about this book because if I see this book, I mean, if I was in a bookstore and I see this book, I would obviously grab it because of the color and the creativity and everything that goes with it. The Guyanese flag, and it just looks beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have a copy right here.
Okay, let me
So
just
I'll
bring
show
it
you
up
some of the
closely.
pictures in there.
Yes.
So before I show you the pictures, this is
Can we see the cover of
probably,
it? Can
oh,
we see the
sure.
cover? Yes. There you go. So, guys, it's not just the way it looked in picture, but this is the actual copy of the book.
Absolutely.
Looks really good. Yeah, I like that. Go ahead.
So this book is probably my favorite book because in the book I'm explaining to my daughter what a Guyanese Christmas is like. Now she's been to Guyana, but she's never been there during Christmas. And she asked me because I always say Christmas time, oh, I miss home, I miss home. So she's like, what is it like? What's Christmas like? And this is a true story about me
Yeah.
explaining to her what Christmas is like in Guyana. And I talk about from beginning to end how we start with the cleanup, we take down our curtains, we wash our curtains, we clean the house. I talk about the food. I talk about, when you go on the streets, there are masqueraders like in front of the cars, they come and they wipe the cars, the windows on the cars and stuff like that. And then you give them money and they're dancing in the street. And you have the drums playing in the street, like when you go on Regent Street and it's shopping time and it's super busy. And I talk about the book in, sorry, I talk about Guyana in full detail during Christmas time. I tell her about my favorite foods, and I'll show you some
Black
of the
cake and
pictures. Yeah.
everything. Yes.
So there we
Wow.
go.
Look at that.
Right? And I talk about the ginger beer and the sorrel and the black cake and the, here we go, see?
Yes. Nice.
Right? And the ham and the bread and
Beautiful.
all that kind of stuff. So I really, really try, and I explain to her about, I talked to her about Old Year's Night and how we make cook up rice late at night. This is me making the cook up rice with the pigtail and
Nice. Oh my gosh, this
and the
is so
different
funny.
types of cook up rice. Some
Yes.
people eat pigtail, some people like a fry fish with the cook up. The some people like black eye cook up or red bean cook up or, split peas, whatever. I talk about all of that in the book. I show her the different drinks that we make. And, I really try to explain to her what it's like and how amazing it is. And there are pictures here too with the masqueraders on the street and that kind of thing. So, and
Mm,
my books, I mirror them so they look very similar because it's like, the Azar, the little princess who loves dresses is part one, and then you have a continuation with a different story about COVID-19, which is more serious, and then you have basically education about Guyana during Christmas time that
that's
your
right.
children can learn, right? Because
About their
everything in
culture.
here is something they can learn about what our culture is, what
Yes,
Christmas, is to us as Guyanese. So this book is probably the one that I love the most because I'm talking,
it's
it's
very dear to
it's
you. Yes.
it's there to me, right? So yeah,
Can you give
absolutely.
us a little bit of a read from that book?
Sure, absolutely. I can do that. Let's
I'll be more
see.
interested to hear it for herself, so we can encourage others to support. And if your kids were born in Canada, United States, and let's say in England or some parts of Europe, wherever not than Guyana, you can probably have this book to teach them about the Guyanese culture in
Mm-hmm.
respect to Christmas time. Because I have not been back home since 2007 for Christmas. I've been back home but not for Christmas. So it is something that I probably need to do this year, but I don't think it's going to happen this year. But
Yeah.
hopefully next year I'll be able to enjoy Christmas. So let's hear what's in the book.
Me too. I miss home.
Of course.
Christmas time, especially. There's
Yeah,
something when you come off the plane, it just smells like home.
of
I
course.
don't know, just a smell. As soon as you come up, it just smells like home. It's so beautiful. You
Yes.
know? And it's
Yes.
just, to me, the most beautiful place. Yeah.
Yes.
So this is a conversational book. This is a book where I'm talking, my daughter is asking me questions, and we're talking to each other back and forth because that's exactly how it happened, right?
Yes.
Azara and her mom live in Canada, but Azara's mom is originally from Guyana. Azara loves to hear stories about her mother's native country. She mostly loves hearing about Christmas and what it's like in Guyana. What is Christmas like in Guyana, Mom? Christmas in Guyana is awesome. It starts with people completing an intense cleaning of their homes and hanging new curtains on the windows. There are lots of decorations and Christmas trees in homes and public places. You can see the fairy lights twinkling at night from almost every house. It is a beautiful sight. The various smells of different Christmas feasts being prepared gives you a warm, wonderful feeling inside. What dish is your favorite, Mom? There are so many different dishes from which I can tell you. I made you I made you pepper pot last year. Do you remember? Yes, I remember, Mom. It was delicious. Well, that is what we have with freshly baked bread for Christmas morning breakfast. Some people also love having it with Bakewell bread, which we can buy from the store. Pepper pot is the national dish of Guyana. We make it with various types of meat and something called cajrip, which cures the meat and gives it an amazing taste and smell. The first people of Guyana introduced it to us. We call them the Amerindians. And,
Wow. There we go. There we go. So we don't want to give away everything in respect to that book. And I love the way in which you wrote the book because you said she asked the question and then you
hmm
were able to answer those questions. And kids are very curious.
hmm
So I can imagine she had so many questions to ask you, especially um, being able to grow up in this Canadian society. So,
absolutely, absolutely.
so
And
she
also behind the books, and I didn't say this for my other books, but
okay.
because I want the children to interact,
Yes,
behind all of my books, I have a section where children can go and color.
perfect.
So,
Yes.
see, in the back of the book,
You have
there's a section
the map
with
of
the map
Guyana.
of Guyana,
Yes,
the flag of Guyana.
there you go.
Christmas trees, and you have Santa, and you have, and so forth,
What is the
right?
age group? What is the age group for this book?
Between 3 and 6.
3 and 6. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure
So
if you're 7 and 8, you can still enjoy this book too. Yes, if the child is
I
7 and 8.
say 3 and 6 only because of the coloring in the back, but
Yes,
honestly, you can pick this up for a 10-year-old who doesn't know about Guyana or Christmas in
yes,
Guyana. I make it easy for them to understand what it is. And as you can hear, like I break it down, and as I'm breaking it down, I'm giving them facts.
yes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, go get this book. At the end, we're gonna have all the names and everything. So if they type in Asha Peters, can they find your book, or they have to type in the name of the book?
No, Asha Pieters, but we have to remember my name is spelled with an I,
Okay.
Pieters.
So let everybody know
So
it's not regular Peters.
no, it's Dutch. It's Dutch. So it's Asha, Asha Peters, Pieters. Yeah.
Okay. And if you're watching right now, so surprise Asha, please um get this book. It's not only for support, but I feel um we're living in a day these days, we're living in a time where our history is somewhat being erased. And
Hmm.
it is important that our kids know about their culture, and where they came from, because that contributes to everything that they will end up doing in this life. Because once they go anywhere, people are going to ask, but where are you from? Not only to say, I'm from Canada, but what's your background? Oh, I'm Guyanese, and I'm always ready to speak to any Guyanese, anyone that do have Guyanese roots. So I really like the fact that you were able to put this together. And I also, I gotta give myself some, something to, because I was going through Facebook and I just came across that video, and it just sparked that. And I said, okay, let me just reach out to Asha. Obviously, she's not going to say no, because I know her. And this is an opportunity where she said, share this link. And I shared it right away,
Thank
because
you.
it's also an opportunity for us to support each other
Mhm.
too, as Guyanese who are doing great things. So hopefully, the Christmas story is going to be one of your number one seller, because Christmas is coming up, and if you're buying a gift for a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 9-year-old, please make sure you package that gift with the Christmas story from Ash.
Absolutely. It's good for kids who are living abroad. So if you're
Yes,
visiting Guyana, you're going home on vacation, this is a quick, something to take back.
yes,
Or you can just purchase it while you're there, off of Amazon. When you get back home and you want to give them something for Christmas, you can say, "Here you go. It's the Guyanese book." Um, and also, it's great for baby showers. It's great
yes,
for birthdays. It's great for, if your birthday is during Christmas or not. It's a learning book. So you're
yes.
going to learn about Guyana and what Christmas is like there and the different types of food. I even mentioned Bakewell in there because Bakewell was my favorite bread growing up as a kid. I used to go to the Bakewell store all the time.
Yes.
And Bakewell flatbread. I think it's I
People
talk
still
about
go to
all that. I talk about
everybody Guyanese still go to Bakewell and get their bread. So yes.
yes, I talk about all of that in the book. If you can't tell, I'm a foodie, so
Yes.
so um so
Yes.
I did all these different explanations about what Christmas is like up in Guyana. But I talk about the cleaning, and I talk about the food, and then I talk about the culture, and so.
Yes. And like I said, I mentioned Giftland. I have no affiliation with Giftland. Um, I don't even know who owns Giftland, but I feel like when it comes to when it comes to Guyanese authors, because a lot of people goes into Giftland to get gifts. I can tell you that for
Mhm,
sure. A lot of
mhm,
people go there. So it would be nice to have maybe a special section, with this book, which is okay, being written by this person that's living overseas, and so forth, so that persons can see it and pick it up from the shelf. Because
mhm,
in our homes, I can tell you, I love books. I have books everywhere, um, in my house here. I love books, and I'm also I like to support my own Guyanese as well. So if you're listening, thank you so much for tuning in, for being part of this live here. And also, please share the live so others can be aware and also have this information, and give Asha the support that she needs throughout this period. Now, that's not the only book that you wrote. There's some others. I'm going to bring another one up here, not this one. Let's see if we can get this one here.
Oh,
So
before we go to that one, don't forget this one.
okay, let me see that. I can't see it from here. Oh, that one. I think I have it here, or I'm probably going to bring it up. And then let me see. All right. So give me a moment. I'm going to bring that one up so we can talk about it. So I've got to remove this copy here from the studio so I can bring in that copy. And let's see very quickly. All right. So this one here, I think I have it now. I believe it's here. So let's talk about it. All right, here it is. There we go.
Yes.
All right.
So this is my fourth storybook. This is the most recent one. And this one is about my son. So he is 2. My daughter is now 8. So all the first 3 books are about her. After I got pregnant with my son, I stopped writing children's book for a while because I had a little bit of a difficult pregnancy, so just recovering from that was challenging for me. And so I recently, well, not recently, probably over the past maybe 10 or 11 months or so, I've been working on this one. And this one is basically about me teaching my son how to use a potty and how to brush his teeth. It
Oh,
started off with him learning how to brush his teeth, right?
yes.
And so we would start because he was really young. He was just 1 at the time, and so he would take the toothbrush and just bite it up. So we would try to teach him. I would show him in the mirror. I'd make like funny noises, and I tell him I'm a lion and all these different things, and the lion's teeth has to be clean and all these different things just to make him
Yes.
want to open up so I can help him brush his teeth, right? Because he used to just hold the tooth, take it from me, and bite down on it. And as time went on, and the book, sometimes you start a book with one thing in mind and then it becomes something else. And as he was growing, then it became potty training. So I added that as well. And I think it's really important to take your time with kids that age and have them try to do it on their own. Like eventually my son took, even though he was taking the toothbrush and biting it, I allowed him to do that because he was still getting his teeth cleaned, right? But I gave him the opportunity and I encouraged him and I ensured that he felt confident enough in himself that he could hold this toothbrush and you should see him like really trying. So I thought, this is interesting. I could write about this because it was an experience. There was toothpaste everywhere, kids' toothpaste everywhere, and he's trying to like the
Yes.
water on the brush everywhere and that kind of thing. And then when it came to potty training, because he had to go to daycare, so before he goes to kindergarten, he has to learn how to use the potty. They can't
That's
go
right.
to kindergarten here unless they know how to use the potty. So we've
That's right.
started teaching him how to do that. And I basically just documented it in this book, but I made it easier for children to understand. I made it so that children can understand, and I made it so that they don't feel pressured,
Yes.
right? And they feel that it's something that, you know, or their parents will be disappointed if they don't go when they're supposed to. And accidents are going to happen.
Or
That's
feel
okay,
embarrassed.
right?
Yeah.
Yes, or feel embarrassed.
Yes.
That's okay. And we have a whole thing in this house. We have like a sticker board. Every time he's able to go, we take a sticker. He could take the sticker and places it on a star and it's a star sticker. So every time he goes, he can. So he's
Yes.
excited about that. And I wrote about all these different things in the book. And yeah, and so I'm super excited about it. And all of us helped him with that. So I was the one who, initially started helping him brush his teeth, and
Yes.
his dad is the one who takes on the potty training. And Azara, of course, he thinks that she's such a big girl because every time she goes in there and she comes and she flushes the toilet, he's so excited. Oh, he wants to be able to
He
flush the
wants to
toilet.
do
So I said,
this. Yeah.
if you want to be able to flush the toilet, you need to know to use the potty first, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I put the full, the entire family on here because
Yes.
she encourages him to, right?
Yes.
And it's just a fun book, especially for 2 year olds, and it's a nice read at night. He
Yeah.
likes it. I read it
Yes.
to him at night, and if I don't read it, he's like, "Mama, mama, book, book." Yeah.
And
So
I'm sure, when as they get older, we're probably going to get books about adolescence, and because we're dealing
absolutely,
because we are dealing with a whole different generation of kids these days. It's not like, back in you and I days and so forth, but these kids are different experiences. So I can say for future, you probably will want to document some of those things and so forth. But I can see it probably happening, and I'm sure your kids are going to be so proud of you to say, "Oh my gosh, mommy wrote this book because of me," and so forth. So this
hmm
legacy obviously is going to continue, because probably Azara might want to write a book about her mom, and what her
hmm
mom did for her when she was a little girl and growing up and so forth. Yeah, I can see that happening.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, we have some new authors coming up too.
Oh,
Yes.
she started. She already
Oh,
started.
saw it already.
There's one I'm helping her with. Well, it took some time because she
Yes.
saw me writing these books. So she said to me, "Mommy, I want to write a book." So I said,
Yes.
"Well, if you come up with a good story, I'll help you. But
Yes.
you have to come up with a story. You have to write something." She's 8, she can write. So I said, "You come up with a storyline and I'll help you with it." And of course, she's doing her own thing. She's not really focused on it. But every time she sees me at the computer sitting there, on Canva trying to figure out my next, how to get my books together, she keeps bringing it up. And I'm very firm. If I'm going to promote a book for you, if I'm going to help you to write a book, it's going to have to come from you. It's
Of
going to have
course.
to come from I'll help you put it together, but the story has to be yours.
Of
And
course.
so she finally came to me. This is after a year and a half, probably. So she finally came to me about 2 months ago with a very, very good idea. She said she wants to write a book called All About Me, and she wants to talk about her piano. She wants to piano playing. She wants to talk about her karate. She wants to talk about her adventures at camp during summer. She wants to talk about her voice training lessons. Well, she's been doing voice training for like 2 years now. So she wants to talk about all these different things that she likes to sing. She does karate. She plays the piano, and now she's doing chess as well. So she wants to put all these things in the book and explain the benefits of playing piano and how much she loves it and that kind of. I thought that was a great idea. So I said, okay, we're gonna put it on paper and see how it sounds. You need to give me like a couple of paragraphs. Let me see, and then I'll fix it. And then we'll go from there. And then we'll get the images and all that. So she has a book coming out hopefully soon.
On our own.
Oh, yeah.
Which is good, which is good. And also, I mean, I'm just thinking very futuristic. Probably we'll have a YouTube channel bringing some of these characters to life and so forth,
Absolutely.
where Guyanese kids can sit and watch, and kids around the world can learn a little bit about Guyana. So, Asha, I'm hoping you're making notes here.
I am. I have a video too with
You know
my
what?
son. He has
With
a
AI, we
Guyanese.
can do so much these days, right? So with AI can bring that all your books to life, and also, like I said, because as we was speaking and I was thinking, because obviously the sale is important, but also you can bring it to life as well, and put it on YouTube. And you can build
Yeah,
a following on YouTube and so forth. This
absolutely.
is the reason why we're doing this. We're having this interview right now, right? So I hope you're making notes.
I am. I absolutely am. And I
All
have
right.
I have so many thoughts. I want to one day put it on Netflix, if
Oh,
I can get
there
it
we
there
go. Here we go. The
on
Christmas
Netflix.
story.
Why not,
The
right?
Christmas story, I think, is going to be sold.
Yeah, my cartoons on
The Guyanese
Netflix
Christmas
and
story.
on Amazon Prime and
Yes.
probably Crave or whichever one.
Yes.
So I'm thinking long term. I want to, but of course I have to keep writing, right? And
Of
have
course.
content for
Yes.
them to be able to use.
Yes.
So that's why I'm working so hard to build a future for my children and to educate other children while I do it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, so many innovative ideas are coming up here right now. You can maybe have a book reading session for some Guyanese here in Canada. You see what's happening?
Yes, yes, I've done that at a few
Okay.
libraries. Yes,
Okay.
and I did that at the Zara School.
Yes.
Um, and my son's daycare, I'm going to be donating some books to his daycare as well. Yeah,
Okay.
for
Perfect.
Christmas.
There we go. There we go. All right. So we have two other books that you wrote. Can talk about those. Not this one here. Not sure where this one fit in. Is this the sixth one or the
No,
fifth?
so so this is a coloring book for Halloween,
Okay.
and I have it here.
Okay. And this one is very timely because Halloween. Now
It's
Guyanese are into modern Guyana. They're into Halloween as well. So
Yeah, so this that's so true. This is this book, and I
okay, let me just bring
did
that up.
this specifically for Halloween. It's a coloring book, only a
Yes.
coloring book, and it has little monsters. I'll open it up and show you. So there are monsters in here, and they can just draw the monsters, their own monsters on the other page, because I do leave space blank
Yes.
pages as well, so as that they can draw and show their artistic side and color. And I think it's just a fun book. If you're going on a flight somewhere, it's a long flight, you can take it with your 6-year-old or 7-year-old or 5-year-old, even
Just to keep
3-year-old,
them
and they
busy.
can color. And yeah, so this is
Yes.
just a fun book. There's no activity except for coloring, and they can draw themselves and that kind of thing. Um, and yeah, that's what it is. And I created, so the storybooks, I wrote the story, but
Okay.
um, I did not draw the images.
Yes.
And as I said in the beginning, there was no chat GPT, there was no AI that could create these images for me. So I had to go to an illustrator to get them done. So the first four books that you saw, storybooks, were illustrated. I had them illustrated. I gave the story, I had them illustrated, and she would come back and forth with me. No, I don't like the nose on this one. I don't like the eyes on this one. Could you fix this? And then I had to, for the Guyanese Christmas, I had to send her all these pictures of various Guyanese foods, and so as that she can have an idea of what it was I was
It looks
talking
like.
about. And so it was
Yes.
illustrated by someone else. I wrote the story, but she illustrated. Um, with these ones, I did myself. I got Canva. I learned to do it again, back and forth, going to YouTube and now TikTok, because TikTok shows you, they have lots of authors on there now who are
Yes.
writing books and showing storybooks and doing journals and all that kind of thing. And so these are just coloring books that I created myself. And again, it was difficult, challenging, because I never knew how to do this kind of thing. So I had to teach myself so that I can
Yes.
save that money that you would normally pay an illustrator,
Of
right?
course.
But when
Yes.
you have things like Canva, you can learn, how to do this kind of thing if you really dedicate yourself. So this one is called Fruits and Vegetables, and this one has various types of fruits and vegetables, and this one is eggplant, and these are activity books. So if you're learning, your child is learning how to write or how to draw, not draw, sorry, how to write, they can use this for reference. So and it's all numbered. I don't know if you can see closely. So it's
Yes.
numbered so they can understand where to start, right? How to write the E. And then at the bottom here, they can trace the word.
The name. Yes. Okay.
Yes. the name
So it
of
helps. It
the
also helps with spelling as well. Yes.
exactly. So they can trace the name of the fruit or
Yeah.
vegetable,
Yes.
right?
What other
So
fruits is in there? Do you have soursop? Do you have what do you have in there?
what do I have?
I'm sure
I
you don't
have
have.
tomatoes, I have squash, I have
Yes.
radish, I have
Okay.
let's see here. I have pears. I have okra. I
I
have
still like
okra.
to buy
I
my
have
okra.
nectarine and that kind of thing, right?
Yes.
So, um, I have cabbage.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I also have sea animals.
Yes.
So this one is about all the different types of sea animals. And so you're learning about the sea animals and the names of the sea animals while coloring yourself.
Wild
So this
coloring.
one's a
Yes.
dolphin, and as you can see, you can just,
Yes.
yeah,
Well, you know
right?
what? Government of Guyana should get on this, man. Just throw our books in the classrooms.
You have seahorses and you have
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
jellyfish. Yeah, so many different types of. You have stingray. So not only are they coloring, but they can also trace and they're learning what it is, right?
And it was
And
done
that.
and it was done by a Guyanese. Because sometimes kids end up with different books from all over the place, and you don't know who wrote the book. Obviously, you're giving support to anybody who did that book or
Mhm.
who created that book. But this book is basically special because it was created and everything was done by a Guyanese. It's always
Yeah,
good to support our own culture. So yeah, I like that.
absolutely, absolutely.
I like
And
that.
this last one is more of a workbook.
Yes, but it has the
So this
alphabet,
one,
right? So it's called alphabet, which is
yes.
yes,
So this one is more of a workbook, but I also want to make it fun. So I include coloring because children love to color. They love to use their artistic, side. So this one is an alligator, and then you
yes,
have A for alligator. So you draw it, and it has a number, so it shows you exactly where to start.
yes,
Uppercase A, lowercase a, and then in there you can trace as well,
yes.
right?
Nice. Yes,
And same thing throughout the rest of the book. So we have hippopotamus and monkeys. And it's just filled with all these different animals. And as I said, like they can color at the bottom and they can
yes,
trace. Yeah.
yes. Which
Yeah.
which also help them to know these animals and what they look like, so they can easily identify them and so
Mm-hmm.
forth. Yeah, and I love that.
Absolutely.
But like I
Yeah.
said, I was saying earlier on that somebody from the Ministry of Education probably should make contact with them because I'm not sure of any other persons in Guyana. I'm sure there are many others who might be doing the same thing, but it's always good to have some of our copies, directed, created by Guyanese as well. I know they're
Mm-hmm.
spending a lot of
Mm-hmm.
money in that area, so some of that cash can probably come into your pocket too as well, help you to have more projects done. All right. So if whoever's listening, if you're working there, you came across this this time.
Absolutely. And also I have
Support
a
Asha
self
Pieters, yes.
journal.
I'm sorry. Oh yes.
Yeah.
I was getting to that. I was getting to that as we wind down this interview. Also want to thank the listeners. I can see quite a few people tuning in here. Thank you so much for staying with us and for enjoying this. So let's talk about this. Yeah, let's talk about this. This is so artistically done. Yeah, what's the story behind this?
So this is my face, black and white. um, and I just, as I said, like I love reading and I love writing, but this journal came along when I was really having a hard time with just life in general. And so I needed to put words on paper. I needed to get out what I was feeling. And so I wanted to create something that made me feel good inside when I look at it, and have powerful words. So when I see it before I open the book, I immediately feel confident again, right? So it says Black Queen, on the top. It says powerful. It says intelligent, self love, and you know, it's one of those journals that when you open the the book and you go into to write, it's embedded in the pages, the words courageous, powerful, strong, intelligent. I don't have it here with me. I don't have it anymore because I'm sold out here at home.
Also, okay.
Um, but the book itself, on the inside, on the pages, you can see it's very light, but you can see on the pages as you're writing, it says strong, you're powerful, beautiful, smart. It has all these words of
Affirmations.
affirmation.
Yes.
Yes, right? And sometimes, and it has no dates. I made sure that I did not put dates in this journal because a lot of times, and you could even testify to this, when we buy journals, we say to ourselves, "Yes, I'm gonna write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday," and then it doesn't work out like that because life happens, and sometimes you just don't get the chance to write every day. And then come say January 2026, then you're basically uh, trying to buy a new journal because the dates are off. So I just left it, dateless so people can just write whenever they want to. So it lasts much longer and you don't have to continuously keep buying journals. And there's so many pages in there. I think it's like maybe 300 pages in there. I think. Yeah.
Yes. And I actually left your face up there because I want you to speak to the audience about this.
Hmm.
Mental health, wellness,
Yes.
all these things are important.
Important.
And even though you said that to me, I didn't really pay that much of attention to it. But
Hmm.
now I see the real picture behind it and so
Hmm.
forth. So this is the journal that they can also pick up on Amazon.
Yes. Hmm. Yes. So you
Okay,
can get it on Amazon. Um,
let's bring it up
and
so that
yes,
you can see what it looks like. So it's called, oh, so it's basically just called journal.
it's just called journal. And then there are all these words of affirmation on my face,
Yes.
right? Black Queen, humble, fearless, powerful, self love, intelligent, courageous.
I want a copy of this one, Christmas Story and Journal.
That's survivor is another word I put on my face. Like it's
Okay, nice.
powerful and survivor right under my eyes,
Yes,
because we have so many women going through so much, and they're so strong. So I wanted to pay homage to that. Us as women, we go through so much and we're still able to get up every day and do what we have to do for our families and for ourselves even. And so this book is just an escape. If you're going through something and you want to put words on paper, you need to get it out. This is a journal that you can use to write your feelings.
yes, yes, and I really appreciate that in respect to this one here, in particular. So, ladies, have a great book here to read. Um,
To
so,
write in, you mean?
oh, so basically, oh, okay, okay. So it's not you journaling your life. It's basically a book with affirmations where, ladies, obviously,
No,
well,
so the affirmations, okay, so let me see if I can
okay,
explain it. The
yes,
affirmations are embedded in the pages.
in the pages of itself,
So
so
you
they can
write
actually
on
write.
top of it.
Okay,
So,
good. There
but
we
you
go.
don't, it
Okay,
doesn't affect the
all right.
writing because you don't really, it's very faint
Yes,
and light. It's within the
yeah,
lines
yes, yes.
of the
Okay,
book itself, right?
okay.
Yeah.
So it's a journal that they could use with this. Yeah. Okay,
Yes,
I get it
it's
now.
not my story. It's the pages are blank. It's just embedded in the pages itself, the words
Okay.
of affirmation. So you can write on top of that. You can write your stories and that kind of thing, or how you're feeling, or what you're going through. Yeah, because mental health is important, and we need an outlet. And sometimes you don't always want to share certain things with people, but you need to get it out.
Yes, so it's one way
Yeah.
of doing that is basically just doing
Hmm.
your everyday journal and so forth. Yeah. Okay, awesome idea. And yes, so you can go get this book too as well. This journal where you can actually journal your daily activities, things that you're going through with the affirmation words to keep you going on a daily basis. So I like this because we're basically ending this interview with some kind of empowerment
Hmm.
in respect to women in Guyana. And I must say, thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk to you about the books and the things that you're doing, apart from all the other things that you used to do back in Guyana, and then you disappear, and now you come back with two beautiful kids. And also living in Canada. We both are living in Canada. Yay!
Yay! Shout out to Canada and Canadians.
I know. Canada is great. We ain't got no Walgreens here. So if you're from the United States, we ain't got no Walgreens here. All right. So, Asha, I mean, I had a list of questions to ask you, and you answered all of those questions, even though as I'm taking a peep at the questions, and I'm like, but she answered this one, she answered that one, and so forth. But this interview has been very nonchalant. So, what's next? What's next for you right now? In respect to the books, is there any other idea that any other thing that you're working on at this time?
Yes, I want to write books for teenagers now.
Okay.
Um,
See, I was talking
and
about that. I was talking about that. So there it is.
yeah, and I have some ideas, and there's one that I'm working on right now. It's about Guyana, and it's about a young girl from quarantine who becomes a superhero. And I'm not gonna go on like and say
Yeah,
word
don't
for
give the whole thing as yet.
yes, but I think that we need to see ourselves in that light. I think children, the youth in Guyana need to see themselves in
Yes,
that light and understand that they could be anybody that they want to be. And I think through stories, through words, um, we can be anything we want to be.
yes,
So I have a lot more books to come, but for right now, I'm focused on writing. My next book is about teenagers. Um, and Christmas is coming, so I do have some more coloring books and work activity books for Christmas. So those are also going to be coming out soon. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm focused on right now. In terms of life, I'm just trying to really focus on getting my books out there and having more people support those books. So I do not necessarily have to um, do a 9 to 5 anymore. That's not that's not something that I'm really interested in doing
yeah,
because I've worked in the banking industry for what 20 something years now. And so I feel like I want to do what I love to do. And I love that for a time.
yes,
But writing has been my passion since I was a child. And banking is something I do to pay my bills,
yes,
right? And right now, writing books is something that I do as a side, as as we say again, a side hustle.
side hustle.
But I
You
don't
want
want
to
it to
become
be
a
a
main
side hustle.
hustle.
I want
Yes,
it to be a permanent staple in my life because I have so
business.
much to say and I have so many things that I have in my head that I want to put on paper and I need the time to do it.
Yes,
So for now, I'm pushing my books as much as I can. Um, I'm using social media to do it. I'm learning so much more about social media now. And thanks to you and our conversation, you also helped me learn
yes,
a lot more about social media and ways that I could use it to
yes.
build my platform. So these are all things that I am really proud of, and hopefully, I'll be able to do more of. Yeah.
But you see, as you were speaking, and I'm happy that you're at this stage in your life where you can see the benefit of not just using social media for the negative things, but using it as something positive. And also listening to you, I can see that you've grown um, into this person, and to see how we move from one stage to the next in our life is not just about partying, it's not just about doing all the different things, but to see you in this light as a mom, as a wife, and also as an author. It just warmed my heart to see how everyone has grown into something, and so forth, and you're now giving back to our beautiful country, Guyana, that we love so much. One people, one nation, one destiny. And uh, like I'm saying to everyone out there, those who are listening, that our only our only job. Oh, how did my computer just go to sleep? Yes, our only job is to support
Mhm.
our own, right, and
Mhm.
give back in whatever way possible, because we go into schools, we go to other places, and I might pick up a book with someone from some other country, but if I
Mhm.
see something from Guyana, then that
Mhm.
gets me excited, right?
Yeah.
If I go into a bookstore and I see something from Guyana, that gets me excited. Like, for example, I go to the LCBO and I see Guyana rum, and I'm like, whoa, I get excited. You know what I mean? 'Cause now,
Yes.
now I see people talk about Guyana rum, and I would ask people in the LCBO, like, hey, you know what this is? They're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. That we buy that all the time. You know what I mean? Right? And
Absolutely.
I want to
Absolutely.
see, yeah, I want to see Guyanese people, our creative work out there, and you doing that. So kudos to you, and also to all those other individuals who are doing great work out there, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And you wanted to
Yeah.
talk about what's the name earlier? Hopefully she can come on the show at some point, and we can talk
Andrea.
things that she's doing.
Yeah. Yes, Andrea makes jewelry. I'm
Yes.
actually wearing her jewelry right now.
Yeah, see, shake that. Like I actually,
She's
it
a
looks really, really, really nice.
yeah,
Honestly,
it's
bring
pretty.
it a little bit
She
closer.
does
Bring it a little bit closer. Let's see.
absolutely.
There we go. There we go.
Right? And it
Wow.
has even charms. It even has charms on it and
Wow.
everything. And
Wow. She's
she
gonna have to
uses
send me a paycheck
beads,
after this.
quality beads. That's what I love about it. Her beads are are such great
Nice.
quality,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Wow. Really nice. I love that.
Yeah.
I
And
love
she
that.
supported me throughout my journey. It's funny, we're cousins and we never knew we were cousins.
Yes.
I used to see her on Girl Talk, and I remember she came to Canada. Well, she used to live here way before me and stuff. But when she moved back to Canada, she ended up coming to Edmonton, where I
Yes.
was living at the time, and then we connected. And I always knew her as Andrea McAdam. I never knew her as Andrea Roller,
Roller.
right? So I knew her in Guyana when she did Girl Talk as
Yes.
Andrea McAdam.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so
Yes.
I that's why I didn't know that we were related, because all the
Yes.
rollers in Guyana are related. All
Yes.
of them.
Yes.
So
Yes.
when I met her as Andrea Roller, I'm like, I know we're related. We have to be all the and then when we figured it out and she spoke to her mom and I spoke to my dad, we realized
Yes.
we're actually cousins. And I was like, wow.
Yes.
And she supported my journey. She supported me as a mom, as a wife, as she's always been there for me here in Canada, where I really don't have a lot of family here in Canada. And she has been very, very supportive towards me, and I'm very grateful to her for
And
that. So,
she was actively involved in Guyana. It's funny that we were
mhm.
talking about her. Did she give us permission to talk about her? But
She's probably watching and loving it right now.
I know,
Guyana is
right? She
watching.
was so actively involved in Guyana, in the HIV/AIDS project, with USAID back in those days, and that's how I know her. And I always say, I'm not sure if she can remember me because I wasn't that involved then. I think when she was working with USAID, but I remember going to the building there on Main Street, and meeting her and so forth, and others as well. So these are the people who would have give back in the in those days, and then people move on, and they're doing other things now for a
Yeah.
program like what I am doing. So I'm looking to talk to some of those individuals, bring them back. Let's talk
Yes.
about your life now, what you were doing and so forth. And in one way, when I saw that too, you did that video, man, I don't know, your videos are somewhat captivating. So I saw
I'm
that.
I'm trying because, you
Yes.
know, as I had told you, social media, I just used it as a tool to connect with
Yes.
family and friends. And
Yes.
now I'm realizing people are not necessarily going to support you if they don't know you,
That's
right?
right.
And
Yeah.
so I try to put bits and pieces of my life out there. I
Yeah.
introduced, people to my children via social media. If you're interested in following me, you can follow me on TikTok. It's Asha underscore inspires. And I have a lot of videos there where I talk about Guyanese food, and I talk about Guyanese culture. I did a Get Ready With Me where I only wore Guyanese designers. I wore a design by Michelle Cole, and I wore jewelry by Andrea. So I like to support our people. I think it's important to put us in the forefront, and I have been doing that for as long as I can remember, and I also include it in my videos. So while I'm introducing my family and my books, and little making little funny videos here and there, I'm also promoting us, you know and I think that's very important.
So it's Asha underscore, which is for TikTok. Is it the same for YouTube and so forth? Like, how can
It's
they?
the same for Instagram.
Mhm.
Asha Pieters is YouTube. I haven't done the YouTube yet. I'm going to, but for now it's TikTok Asha underscore inspires, and it's the same for Instagram.
Okay, all right. So I am gonna put that up here as a banner so persons can see it. So on TikTok and Instagram, you can find Asha underscore inspires, and she's also looking
Yeah.
to have YouTube going pretty soon as well.
And this video this morning, it's because I just did it because I'm home today. My husband was taking me for breakfast because it's my birthday.
Yeah, man, you're taking control of this interview. You're taking control. So today is Asha's birthday. So happy birthday to you from the News
Thank
Guyana
you.
team. It's
Thank
just
you.
myself
So
and
even
all of
though
my
I
supporters. Yes,
matured, I'm like, yeah,
yes, yes.
absolutely.
Oh my gosh, happy birthday. How old are you today?
I am 42.
There we go.
42.
And
No, a lot of people
growing,
don't like to say their age, but I like to say mine.
come on, you're growing gracefully. Like, come on.
You.
You, you still look like 25.
Thank you.
Yes,
Absolutely. Thank you. 25.
yes. There you go. There you go. There you go. You know what? It said that this 40 is like the new 30. Because
Yeah, it is.
who would know my age? And I'll be
Absolutely
like,
is.
are you that old? Yeah, but we feel it in the bones. We feel it in the bones. So happy birthday to you. And I know you probably had a good day already. And then this interview talking about your books and everything else. We cannot go without asking you, what advice would you give to young Guyanese who are thinking of becoming an author or writers in whatever field? What advice would you give to any young Guyanese or anyone that is thinking about it at this time?
You can do it. You can do it. Set goals for yourself. Try to accomplish those goals. Sometimes things don't always work out, but that's okay. In the words of Denzel Washington, you fall down 8 times, you get up, 9 times. You know what I mean? And I I'm a firm believer of believing in yourself and
Yes.
knowing that there's nothing that you can't do as long as you work hard, and as long as you have a mission for yourself. And it's also good to have a vision board to see what your future could possibly look like. But at the end of the day, it's all up to you and how hard you are willing to work to accomplish your dreams. And so, yeah, fall down 8 times, you get up nine. That's what he said, I believe. But yeah, dust
Yes.
yourself off and just keep getting up and keep going and keep working. And it doesn't matter what it is. Don't let anyone put you in a box. A lot of people do that. You know, people used to say, "You're a model. Well, but anything else, stick to that." No, no. I can write. I can write. I can do that. And I've showed people that I can, and I will. I will continue. And my books are going to get better and better and better with time. And And you can do it too. If I can do it, so can you.
Yeah, I know it's funny. It's like in this life now, people are much more focused on doing the things that make them happy. Um, like you said, you've been in the banking industry for a number of years, and if you, even though you've been there and you've had your achievements where that's concerned, but the things that you wanted to do, you want to write, you want to, talk about your books, you want to do so many other things, and this is your passion, right? And this is your goal. And I must say, for a lot of us, especially for myself, I've run away from the media so many times. You just keep running and you never take the time to sit down and say, you know
Mm-hmm.
what, and I don't want to sound cliche, but you never take the time to say, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. And that's what you said. You
Mm-hmm.
can do it. And those are very simple words, no fancy words, big, no big words, to explain what is it that you can do. But with everybody, you can do it. And now I have people calling me. Well, they always calling me, but I have so many people calling me now to find out. Okay, so how do you do this? How do you do that? You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
there's this person here. You probably should interview this individual, and so forth. But you're basically filling a gap that's needed. And
Mm-hmm.
it's funny with social media now. We're seeing so many guys coming out with their talent, um, so many talent we're seeing authors, we see people doing different things, even in the comedy world, not the ones that involve in the negative stuff, but we're seeing so much talent that was hidden. And yeah, like you rightly said, for anyone out there we're thinking of doing anything, doesn't necessarily have to be becoming an author or a writer and so
Yeah.
forth, but anything that you might be thinking of, you can bring it to life. Um, you can do it, right? So
Yeah. If there's a will, there's a way.
exactly.
If
And I
there's a
want
will,
to, yeah,
yeah, I truly believe that. And speak it into existence. Say you're going to do it. Tell yourself.
yes,
Look yourself in the mirror in the morning and say, "I can do it. I'll do it.
yes,
I'll
yes,
do it." Yeah.
yes. And your breakthrough too came when you said you started to do your TikTok and you realized the amount of views that you got, and you were like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And a lot of us too would have gotten our breakthrough from TikTok.
Yeah.
Um, and TikTok is probably okay. We're not promoting TikTok here. We're not getting paid for this, but TikTok is probably a great place to start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shows
It's
you
a
the
it's a very good place to start, to get
yes,
yourself out there and to
yes,
showcase what you have to offer.
yes,
For me, I work, as I said, an 8 to 5, 8 to 4 job. And so when I come home, it's difficult for me to like be on all the different social media platforms and promote myself. So now I have to assign, okay, uh, when my kids go to bed, I'm going to spend 1 hour, 2 hours trying to post on YouTube or trying to post on Instagram. TikTok is easy. You make a quick video and you know, and you
yes,
get the views, right? So that's why I started with TikTok. But now that I see the impact that it's had, now I know I can probably do YouTube, I can do Instagram, I can push my books out that way, because it's not just writing the books, you need to get them in the hands of people. And
that's
it's not just about making money for me, it's about
that's right. Yeah,
my work
yes,
being recognized. It's about me trying to do what I set out to do, which is educate children,
yes,
right? And through words and through reading. And
yes,
that's why not only do I have a coloring part in my book, but I have a part where they can trace words. They're learning to write and they're also learning various words,
yes,
right? And I think that that is ultimately um, my goal, to get our children up and reading and writing. And just the way my aunt inspired me.
yes. And I love that. Yeah, I love that. So anyone that's listening, um, they can actually follow pattern. I've noticed here some comments. I've never used comments on StreamYard. So somebody says, Julie Angard said, "Wonderful work, Miss Asha Peters." Somebody said, "Woo, I have to buy this book." Also, you're getting some happy birthday too as well, coming from the
Thank
comments.
you. Thank you
Yes.
so thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Thank you.
So
Thank
guess
you for
what?
your support.
So guess what? Asha's now back in Guyana. I know people are gonna say we have not seen her in so many years, but she's here. She's been back and forth on social media. Sometimes we'll see her, and then she just disappear, and then she comes back again.
Yes,
But
yes.
you've been a prominent figure back in those days, and so
Hmm.
forth. And I'm sure a lot of people would have known of Asha Peters back in
And
those.
I must say, every time I go home, I go to St. John's College.
Of course,
I love the children of St. John's College because I that's my old school, and I went there, and I have a connection to that school. It's unfortunate that none of the teachers
are there?
that are there are still there. The last one was Miss Glasgow, Alison Glasgow,
Okay.
and she was such a wonderful teacher. She used to teach dance,
Where's Miss
right?
Glasgow, by the way? Where's
I
Miss
think she's
Allison?
in the US now. I think I don't
Okay.
believe so,
Okay.
but she
Yes.
and anything I remember I used to if there was anything that the school needed, and I remember,
You go
I
to her. Yeah.
donated books there. I
Yes.
remember I did a drive
Yes.
where I reached out to all my old classmates, and they all stepped up to the plate and they helped me. They all donated something, and we went, and Miss Allison was in charge of that. And and my best friend Marissa Hussein, who is also from St. John's College, we grew up
Yes.
together. We met each other at that school. Um, the two of them were in Guyana. I was here in Canada, and I sent the money home, and they went out and they got all the books and took it to the school. And so the children had different, their parents didn't have to buy them the books anymore, because I bought, like, maybe, I can't remember, but I bought the books and donated it to the school. So specifically when they have reading or literature classes, they didn't if they didn't have the book, it's okay, because the school owned a copy of whatever the books were on the syllabus. So that's something I was able to do. I'm very proud of that. I'm very grateful to all my classmates who helped me to do that. And I'm grateful to Miss Alison Glasgow, who made that process very easy. Yeah. Anything that I asked her to do for me regarding the school, she always did it. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. I know Missed her because I missed seeing her pictures on the Facebook. So I said she probably move on to another school. So if she's in the US, that's
I
awesome.
think she is. I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know. I think based on her pictures that she's posted, I think, I don't know.
she will.
Yeah.
Miss
Yeah.
Allison was
But
an
it's a
awesome
great
dancer.
loss for St. John's that
Yes,
she's
she
no
was an
longer there. Yeah.
awesome dance teacher. I
Yeah.
remember one of the first choreography I've seen was at the National Sports Hall
Hmm.
um, with I think one dance I can remember, Latoya Hubbs. I think she's a lawyer now in
Hmm.
Guyana, and the way they perform it, it was so incredible in terms of her choreography. So you probably will find her one day. Don't worry. Miss
Absolutely.
Allison, if you're listening, just reach out, say hi.
Yes, yes. She was a remarkable teacher.
Yes,
Miss
yeah,
her a lot. Yeah.
yes.
So many teachers there at
Oh
St.
yes,
John's. Kim Cameron,
Denise
who
Parker, Kim Cameron,
Kim
uh,
Cameron, Miss
what's her name?
Archer.
Miss Archer.
Archer was a maths teacher.
What's her name?
Mr. Archer, she used to try so hard with me and the maths, let me tell you. I
Yes,
feel sorry for her. Miss Hunter. You
of
could hear Miss
course.
Hunter used to wear these great heels. You could hear
Yes,
Miss Hunter coming down the hall.
Melita Hunter. Yes,
Yeah, and she was
lectured at
just so,
University Guyana. Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's an amazing teacher. Miss
yes,
Kitterman, who died,
yes,
I mean, may she rest in peace, was such an angel.
yes,
And you had
yes,
Miss Thompson, and then you had Sir Ali
yes.
and Sir Kelman,
Miss
Sir,
Adams, who was principal.
yes, Miss Adams,
Yes, yes.
Miss Gibbs.
Miss Gibbs.
Gibbs. My
Yes.
God, we were terrified of her, but she was the best thing to ever happen to that school. She said, Asha, where's your ribbon? No ribbon? Okay, I'm calling you. I'm calling your grandma.
We're
Where's your
we're
ribbon?
missing one teacher. What's her name again? Oh my God. Miss Walcott, um,
Yes.
Miss Suanahimer. Um,
Miss
there's
Chan.
one uh, Miss
Miss Chan
Chan,
taught me how to cook. Miss Chan taught me how to cook. I can't forget Miss Chan.
and there's one other. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember her name? She hangs out with Miss Archer and Miss Parker. What's the name again? Oh my god.
Oh, there's a Miss Pearson.
Well, of course, Miss Person. We cannot miss up Miss Person. Sir
Miss
Corbin.
Pearson.
Sir
Of
Corbin.
course. Yeah,
His son just got accepted to the board.
that's
Uh,
amazing.
Eden. This young man he was a kid. I can remember him as a kid, and then see
Hmm.
him get accepted to the board. Oh my gosh, he's one other person that was, and the name is not coming. but but all the other teachers, Miss Shonda, Miss Durantia,
All
Miss oh my
teachers,
gosh,
yes, they were all amazing. I
yes.
used to give them the time of their life. Let me tell you, they probably got stories about me. Stories about me.
Oh my
I was not
gosh.
an easy child to deal with,
Yes.
but
Yes.
they believed in me and they helped me in any way that they could. And they were strong disciplinarians. St.
Yes.
John's was an amazing school back then. I don't know what it's like now. I haven't been
Mm,
home in a while.
yes.
Um, but they made it a safe space for us.
Yes.
And I am very grateful to all the teachers and even the teachers there now. Shout out to them, teachers around Guyana. It's not an easy job to
It's not
teach.
an easy job, of
It's
course.
very, very difficult.
Yes.
And we need to respect our teachers and we need to give them love and hopefully make sure that their salaries showcase the kind of work that they're putting out in the
Of
classroom.
course.
Because I always believe that teachers are underpaid and overworked, especially in Guyana. And
Yes.
they are some of the most important public workers, and we need to ensure that they get the money that they deserve. So I wanted to make sure that I say that. So hopefully, someone from the government is listening.
I agree with you. All right, Miss Peters, thank you so much for coming on the show. Um, we don't know who's next, um, but I want to give you. I want to say kudos to what you're doing. Also, remember, guys who are watching, that you can find all of these books. You can search on Amazon, Asha Peters, and this is Peters with Pieters.
Yes.
There's this book that I love. You probably see that. Okay, my mouse is not working. Let's just use my. Okay, that's the journal. You can get that too
Yes.
as well. And this is like my favorite. I haven't got a chance to have my own copies yet. A Guy Needs Christmas Story. So you want to, as a matter of fact, A Guy Needs Christmas. Why am I saying story?
Yes.
A Guy Needs Christmas. Support Asha. There's also a whole lot more other books that she wrote. So yeah. So Asha, I'm gonna give you the final word so you can do your call to action, where they can find these books, any other pertinent information that you may find important, um, and so forth. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you the final word, and then we will close.
So, I am very grateful for your time and thank you so much for this opportunity to speak about my work and all that I've done so far. Thank you for the words of wisdom that you have offered. Congratulations to you on your successes, and all that you are doing. Um, and covering all these various stories and what's going on in Guyana. I am very, very proud of you. And so congratulations to you as well. Um, and of course, I love to see Guyanese winning, and you're winning. Okay, pat yourself on the back. You're winning. I'm so proud of you. And I want to again thank all the people. I can't remember everybody, but all the people that have had um, who have influenced my life. I'll start with Miss Pamela Dillon and the Simply Royal crew. You all know who you are, too many to mention. And Michelle Cole, who was the first person to take me to Fashion Week in Miami and introduced me to so many different things. And Marvin Pierce for always, breathing life into me and making me feel confident. And Andrea Rollier, who has been here for me through thick and thin. She's by my side, and I'm so grateful to have her. And to my family, my mom, my dad, who've supported me, throughout my life, all my family, aunts and uncles who have always told me that I can do whatever I want to do, just believe in myself. And to all the people back home in Guyana who believed in me from day one, like we were saying, the teachers and the you know, people, ordinary people in the street who would see me in pageants and they were like, you're destined for great things. And they believed in me. And even now I'm on TikTok and some of the people says, I was looking for you. We're trying to find you. Like, where are you? And I'm
Yes.
so happy to find you again. And we're so proud of you. And I read all their comments, they're positive, the positivity in their comments. And I'm so grateful. And to my children for inspiring me, and to my husband for just being able to put up with me in spite of myself, and for holding it down for us and working so hard and making sure that we have a safe space to express ourselves, and just for loving me, and for being such an amazing person in my life. So I'm grateful to everyone. You can find my books online on Amazon. Hopefully, they will be in Guyana soon, and I will be announcing it on all my social media platforms, including in Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So you'll know when it's in Guyana again. And also, I forgot Karen Bacchus Hines, because she was the first person to put my books in store in Guyana, in New Era Bookstore. So I'm grateful.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning into News Guide 24 as usual. I think I probably will have to look at the stat, but I think so far we probably like got you like the longest interview I've had. And also we maintain a very good views as well in respect to that too as well. So I probably have to bring you on more often.
I would love that. Thank you so much.
All right. So once again, Asha, thank you so much. And for listeners, if you're not following News Guide 24, you can do so. So I have my personal profile. You can follow there. I do share some stories on there. But we also do have a News Guide 24 page, which is if you search in on Facebook, it is NG24. We're also on YouTube, which as News Guide 24. We're on TikTok as News Guide 24. We're also on Instagram that I'm trying to rebuild because the other one is blocked. So if you're looking for News Guide 24 on Instagram, it's going to be News Guide 24 with an extra four. So News Guide 24 4 until I'm able to get that whole thing sorted out. So if you're not following us, please go ahead and do so. Like, follow, and also give your
Share.
feedback too as well. I think you're able to. There's a feedback section. You can do so as well. For YouTube, if you're not following us on YouTube, I would ask you to do so. It's News Guyana 24. If you want to see more interviews like these, YouTube provide a very good space for business now, and I've never said it before, but this channel is now monetized. So your support is needed there. So it's the same content, but in a video format that is on YouTube. So give your support wherever you can. If you have any questions or anything of that sort, you would like to be on this show, also be a guest on this show, you can email me at newsguyana24 at gmail.com. All right. Good. And remember to follow Asha Pieters. She is on TikTok and Instagram right now as Asha underscore inspires. Okay. And remember her book. You can find her on Amazon. So if you look up Asha and it's Pieters, Pieters, or just type in the Christmas story, the Guyanese Christmas.
A
As
Chinese Christmas.
a Guyanese
Yeah.
Christmas. There you go.
And also on my Asha Inspire on my TikTok page, you can just click on the bio. And
Yeah,
on
the
my
links in the
Instagram
bio.
page, you can click on the bio. Same goes for my Facebook. If you click on the if you go on my Facebook, it's pinned to the top of my page. You just click and it will take you to all the books on either the Amazon Canada or Amazon USA. So you just need to click on that and that will take you
Hey
directly to
guys, I
Amazon.
received my books today and I'm super excited.
Here we go. So
So much better than I ever
add
hoped.
this quickly.
And I am so proud of my. Hey guys, I
So we're gonna close off with this video that's here. So as you can probably say, bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Thank
And Ash,
you.
stay in the studio. Don't disconnect.
I will.
Here we go.
received my books today and I'm super excited because they turned out so much better than I ever hoped. And I am so proud of myself that I was able to get it done and uploaded and it was approved by Amazon and I received my first copies today. So this is the Halloween monster book and this is what it looks like on the inside. And there are monsters throughout the book and kids can color and it's really exciting. See? And they also have blank pages in there too, so they can draw their own monsters if they want to on the blank pages. See? That's so cute, right? And the other one is the English alphabet coloring and trace book. It looks like inside again, and so they can write the uppercase A, lowercase a, and then they can also trace again, and then they can trace the name of the animal, and they can learn the name of the animal. So it's alligator, and the next page is a deer, and so forth. There's just so many different ones. And I'm really, really excited about this because I think that children will love it. And it's really nice. Like if you're going on a flight somewhere and you don't want them to use a tablet the entire flight, this is a book that you can use. If you just want them to learn how to write properly or how to form letters properly, this is a book that you can use. And if you just want them to have recreational fun, then they could just color. When they're coloring in the book, sometimes they get curious themselves and they start drawing the letters without even you prompting them. Kids are like sponges and they soak up every single thing that you teach them. And this is definitely a great way for your children to start learning how to write properly and to learn their alphabet and the names of various animals. So I'm super excited about it. Here we go. And they're both on sale right now on Amazon. If you want to find them on Amazon, all you have to do is write my name. I'll put my name. You can see it right there in the search engine on Amazon and all the books will pop up. There you go. I still have 2 more coming next week, so I'm excited about that. And then I'm going to start my Christmas books. So, because Christmas is coming soon, it's right around the corner. So I'm going to take some time and do that with those as well. I'm excited. I'm really excited. And I am very proud of myself that I was able to do this. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. If you want more content like this, please feel free to like and follow.